It's Wednesday, 6:13. This is kind of silly, but I've been up since 5 o'clock thinking about this. So, first of all, it's raining. I love the sound of the rain on the tent. I'm thanking God that everything is dry in our tent. Thanking God for the fly keeping our tent dry. I made some rookie mistakes last night, but weather forecast through the night, so I knew there was going to be rain today, but I didn't anticipate getting rained on all night and waking up to rain. So I would have made sure that our shoes and our backpacks were super secure underneath the fly, and I would have covered our bear bag with trash bags so that those bags stay dry. But anyway, those are not really big deals. I think we're in good shape. The rain on the tent sounds awesome. There's the pitter-patter of the rain, and then the rain, the larger drops falling from the tree sound like popcorn. So it's kind of cool to be out here in the rain. It's not going to be so fun breaking down, but that'll happen in a few hours. So anyway, why in the world have I been up for an hour? Trail names. So it's a super big deal on these trails, when you're a thru hiker, to get a trail name. You kind of look forward to it. It's kind of cool. It's kind of a rite of passage. And so it's right at the beginning, people are introducing themselves. So it's oh, what's your name? Oh, you don't have a trail name yet. Or, oh, do you have a trail name? And so I think we were kind of excited to get trail names. But the thing is, trail name's kind of a big deal. And you're taking it on. Obviously, some people have either given us trail names or thrown some things out, and we're just not sure about them. Or I'm just not sure about them. And I want to advise the boys properly. So, if they get a name that they love, I want them to love it. I don't have to love it. But I think that's the bottom line, is that when you get a trail name, it sort of becomes your, everybody knows you by that. You use it the whole rest of the trail. It follows you for 2,200 miles and beyond. And so, my thoughts are, you should love it and embrace it and be at peace with it. And I kind of feel like a trail name should tell a story, right? When someone tells me their trail name, I want to be well, how'd you get that? So, yeah, it's kind of where I'm at. And so what happened here is we've had some people give some suggestions, and I just don't want to offend anybody. But I also don't want to accept something that isn't a proper fit. So, there was a group the first day that walked by us a couple of times. We were kind of flip-flopping, passing each other. And they were we're going to call you the field trip. And I was that's cool. That's actually kind of cute, as far as a group name goes. We could be the field trip. But obviously we want individual names as well. And so somebody suggested Dash and Lightning and Rocket and Speedy and Mrs. Incredible. And then we had Tag, who said he had some names, and so we were pretty excited to hear what those were. And so he said that I was Mama Bear, that the boys would be bear names. So we have Grizzly and Polar and Kodiak and Koala. So they're bears, and it's kind of a cute concept, but I guess that's how I feel, is it's kind of a cute concept. I don't feel like it is, guess I don't feel like those names are worthy of how awesome these boys are. They have hiked 70 miles through Georgia in 5 days. And they're just amazing. They've been doing so awesome. Oh man, I'm actually just thinking about how incredible they've done these last few days. They're so strong. Their personalities have been great. They're so strong. Their attitudes, their mental fortitude. They've been aggressive. They've been intense. They've attacked this challenge head on. It hasn't been easy. We've had moments of discouragement or frustration. But overall, they're walking through it. They're getting through it. We're overcoming. And they're so amazing. And so, oh man, I just thank God for Benjamin and Brody and Elliot and Asher. And as a mom, I'm so proud of them. So, I don't know, I guess I'm kind of rambling here in the dark in that tent, but I just had to get this off my chest, I guess. I guess how I feel is that they need to earn their name. It needs to mean something. It needs to have a story. And so we're not just going to accept any old name. We're not just going to take a name to have a name. But a couple came up. At one point, I was hiking along, and we were passing someone, and they were like, "Man, those boys ahead of those boys ahead, are they yours?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's my crew." And they were like, the guy was like, "They're ruthless." And so, I know that word can have a negative connotation, but in this case, it was a positive thing. And so I thought, ruthless could be a good name. And I see that as a positive thing in this context. And then he also was fighting for double digits and was yelling at us about having no drive. And, yeah. So, I don't know, and Benjamin took off like a rocket the other day, and then that guy we passed was like, one of them could be Rocket, kind of, was fitting. He's been pushing hard. So anyway, those are my thoughts, and then for some reason, I've been laying here thinking about this for like an hour because I don't want to offend Tag, who gave us some names, or anyone else that might, think that those names are great. I don't want to offend anyone. I don't want to be disrespectful. But I also don't want to accept something that we're not at peace with. I don't know. I guess I just feel like the boys are incredible and amazing, and those names are a little bit just sort of cutesy and just sort of like, it's just like a family grouping, I guess. So anyway, here, thinking about this, I was like, this is ridiculous. I should go back to sleep. I shouldn't be worrying about this. Quicksand came to mind, and I was like, he's not afraid to speak his mind. And he would probably be like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about offending people. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to give this to God, and, it'll get worked out. Or I need to just not worry about being offensive. I can explain in a kind way that we're not really sure about those names. And anyway, God reminded me of Mojo, M-O-J-O-E, Mojo, who we talked to back in Massachusetts at REI before we came on this trip. That's his trail name. I asked him, how'd you get your name? And because I didn't know if it was like Mojo, like M-O-J-O. And he was like, well, actually, I always want more coffee. You know, it tells a story and it's kind of cool, has a double meaning. So anyway, Mojo told us that we should wait to get our trail name and that it'll come, and that if we get a trail name that we don't like, it's okay. We should wait for another one. And I hadn't thought about that since the day that he said it until I decided to finally stop obsessing over it and give it to God. And then I was reminded of that. So anyway, I'm rambling here in my tent, and I should go back to sleep for a bit. And I hope you're all well. I'm so thankful for you all, and praying for you all back home.